Hi, hello, and welcome to Quantum Healing Hands Tarot. Today we are going to look at what people would say about you. So more specifically, I'm going off the theme of there's this really cute song called If I Were a Fish, and it's kind of supposed to be an uplifting song because, people in the world can be pretty harsh. So I thought it would be really nice to find out what people would say about you in all the nice ways, like the things you wouldn't think people actually say. And so that's what this is about today. If you already know which pile you want just from looking, you can click the timestamp down below. If you need a little bit more time, let's get to the breathing. All right, so I like to take 3 deep breaths. All right, so now that we're nice and relaxed, we can look at the piles. So each pile has an owl. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they were all my grandmother's. So I just thought I would use them all today. So in pile 1, we have this gorgeous black owl with the red ruby stones. In pile 2, we have this lapel pin with an owl on it, kind of like a rose gold color. And then in pile 3, we have a much more modern looking owl. Is that the right way to describe it? But very sleek and simple, kind of gold with a white print. So go ahead and pick which pile you would like. If you need a little bit more time, you can pause the video, but the technique I use is I close my eyes and I ask my intuition which pile to pick, and I will see a number in my mind's eye as if I was staring at a light and closed my eyes and that shape is still there. So that's what I use. It's kind of foolproof for me because sometimes I can prefer one of the items over what I'm actually supposed to get. So that's what I use. If you need more time, you can pause it, but honestly, just go with what your instinct and intuition is telling you. So click the timestamp down below and I'll meet you there. Hi, Pal One. Thank you so much for joining me today. So have you heard the song If I Were a Fish? Because it's adorable. And basically the main line of the song is, if I were a fish and you caught me, you'd say, look at that fish. Basically, I kind of wanted to know what, if you were a fish, what people would say about you. But just more specifically, who you are, kind of in all those positive ways. So let's get started on the reading. So you chose this is such a beautiful, I think it actually is a huge ruby stone. In the very least, costume jewelry, but gorgeous nonetheless. So, I'll look at what I feel like the connection for the black and red owl is at the end of the reading. But the first cards I asked were, what would people say about you? Okay. So pile 1, what people would up front just say about you is that you are a bright person, optimistic. I really feel like people look at you and see someone that knows where you're going. And you have this very wild horse energy in the way that you can't be tamed, but you have full vision and control of your life. You're wild in that way, in the way that you have explored the world and know who you are. I really feel like you have such a unique voice that people are so mesmerized by you. And I see what's so cool is like, not only are you just this like admirable spirit, which is just somebody who like goes after their dreams and is not only driven in the material realm, but super connected to the spiritual realm. And so having the 4 of acorns, though, these are both wands, is you are somebody who is super just appreciative of your environment. You're not this like wild horse that when people get around, you're like bucking them, and like you are happy and free. Like you come around and you give people this joyous, beautiful energy of celebrating life. And it's contagious. People really like being around you because you know how to care for your own environment. You know how to care for yourself. You know how to care for you. And so when you're around people, you are at your best because you have been taking care of yourself. So when the way people would describe you is kind of like you're off in your own world, but it's like that energy of someone who went and moved to a different country but still sends their family back home money to support them. Like you are the one who is leading the way, and it's for nobody else other than the spirit inside of you. And that gives you such a generosity because you are living truly for the experiences of life. You are, when you show up, you're genuine, you're being authentic, and people like, you're that person who kind of goes away for a while, but every time you show back up, you are completely rested and taken care of. Like you just, people see you as a very strong, reliable individual. You may not know that the majority of people who talk about you in such a bright, beautiful light. You have so many people who look up to you, and so what just came to me was like Pablo Escobar, in the way that like, sure, he killed a lot of people and was a drug lord, but there are people out there who he set them up. He looked out for his neighborhood. There's a lot more dark energy there for that. I was just giving you an example. In the way, meaning you're always going to be a villain in somebody's story. Again, I'm not really comparing you to Pablo Escobar. I was just using the example that there are people out there who thank him for setting them up and taking care of them. Again, this was to make his neighborhood look good so he could do all that dark energy stuff. So I'm not saying anything like that. But there may be people out there that think you have those dark intentions when actually you are just running free. And people don't always understand that. I feel like you are somebody that people don't understand. And that's okay, because you protect yourself. You protect your energy and make sure that people only can talk through speculation and not through facts, because you don't allow people to know you in those ways. And that's okay, because you show up and you support your family and you support your community, and you are very well loved. You are seen in such a high regard. But we can't control how everybody sees us, because I definitely don't see you also as a people pleaser. So if you are somebody who is looking out for the greater good of the community, there are going to be people who aren't going to be happy with you because you have maybe had to steer that person away. And so maybe you don't help everybody, but that's because not everybody deserves your help. All right. Next is, what do people not know about you just from looking at you? So I have a feeling that people may not actually know this like super romantic side to you. I feel like you have this aspect where most people see you as just a very strong individual, but you are only strong and tough on the exterior because you've been hurt in your quest for finding love and equality. And so people may not understand why you're so closed off. And it's like, because you are such a softie on the inside. You are such a loving, like you wouldn't be so generous if you weren't this kind, loving person. But people might not understand your exterior because up front you may not seem soft and warm, but you are. Your whole purpose and goals in life were to find love. And I'm really, really happy for you to know that that's okay if people don't know this, because honestly, sometimes people take advantage of that. And I think you know that. But I think it's really interesting that this is what people don't see about you. They don't know that you're a romantic, like, soft, loving person. You're like, what? What are you talking about? I am soft and loving. It's like, you know that, but that doesn't mean everybody can see that about you. Even if you are super generous and giving, that should seem obvious, but it's not obvious to others. So let's find out. I asked what other people see that you cannot. So what I'm seeing from 2 Pentacles, 3 Pentacles, and Queen of Cups is what other people see about you that you actually don't really see about yourself is that, so people may not know you're like this like romantic, and that's okay because that's usually a very private personality, but people do know that you are responsible and you know how to work for the greater good of the group, and you are you're trustworthy, you're emotionally stable. So I think that's kind of cool because I guess people aren't seeing you off in the world like running to go fall in love and just go after that sort of thing. But people do know that you are emotionally stable and that they can call you up or ask you to be there for them, and you are present. You know, you may not become an emotional mess, but that's what I think people love about you is you're stable. And like you're the person in the group that can organize a whole trip, and you know what everybody's itinerary is. Like, you are an extremely reliable person. And I guess you don't know that about yourself. You might not know how well organized you are and how stable you are in everybody's eyes. I get the impression that you're kind of, you're someone who is on this like spiritual journey, and it's all about growth. And I don't think you analyze too much how people view you necessarily. I mean, I guess you're watching this, you know, this reading, but maybe it wasn't, you didn't come in here being like, I want to know what people think about me. But that's, I wanted it to be kind of uplifting and kind of letting you know, like, how people view you in the positive way and the things that people actually don't know about you, but also the things that they see about you that you can't. All right, so the last cards I pulled were, what are your hidden talents? Your hidden talents. So I don't think these can look like really scary cards if you don't know tarot up front, but these are actually, it's a good combination. So, because the way I'm reading this is like, your hidden talent is that kind of when you are trapped by something and you are kind of being weighed down by, let's say it's an addiction on, and that's like, and that addiction can be a stress or a way of thinking. And, you know, you get addicted to that cycle of like, what if, or why me? Your talent is that I feel like you are able to kind of understand what your subconscious is actually saying. And when you're having those issues, I think you know something bigger is going on. Because otherwise, I feel like you have a really good, healthy cycle of going out and working on your spiritual experiences and how to treat the world. So when you get caught up in some sort of cycle, I think you know it's bigger than you. I think you know it's something that you kind of have to harness. And that's a hidden talent, because truthfully, a lot of times people get sucked up into things and then they complain about it for years and years and years. And I do not get that energy from you. You are somebody who knows if something is holding you back and causing a lack of progress or a lack of completion. You kind of sniff out what the issue is. And these are probably the times that you go into retreat. When things aren't going well, I feel like you have such a healthy ability to respond to when you're not doing well, when you notice unhealthy habits. Like if you're feel like your home's on fire because you haven't been like cleaning as regularly. Like I feel like you have this talent of understanding what you're not paying attention to. And so you go into retreat and you do shadow work, you do journaling, you do meditation. I want to stress to you, people do not have these skills naturally. Not a lot of them. A lot of people get very, very, very hung up on, once they start feeling something, they think it's like a permanent way to life, and it's not. So you have this talent of when you're not doing so hot, I think you are able to kind of stop and like go reflect and be like, okay, I need to go. I haven't been listening to my inner voice, because my inner voice is always going to tell me 5 steps ahead of me getting to this place. But because you are in tune with your spirit and everything you're doing in life, you're able to kind of go to this place where you're like, what is stopping me? And you kind of reset it. I think those are the times that when people, like if you were a fish, you would be like kind of an elusive fish, hard to catch, like, not easily accessible, but an amazing, beautiful, strong, gigantic fish. You have such a strength about you and intelligence, and people trust you. They don't know, kind of like how you are behind closed doors with your partner, but that's okay. That's not for other people to know. So let's see. It feels like this kind of goes with this energy of like, you have such a compelling energy, like looking at you, like you walk in the room and everyone looks and notices, because how could you not if this is your structure? But with how black it is, like I don't usually see a lot of owls in black. And so to me, this is something like you're more mysterious than people want. People wish they could access you more, but that's perfectly fine that they can't. You're mysterious. You are beautiful. I don't think people understand you a lot. I'm missing a couple. So yeah, you've probably gone through some, like I said, I think you are kind of reserved and hidden, and there, because of some damage that has been done to you, you've been hurt. And so you're just protecting yourself. So while you're out on this wild horse journey and taking care of yourself so that you are a dependable family member and loved one. So, all right, pile one. I think that's all we have today for If You Were a Fish, What Would People Say About You? So if you haven't heard the song, it is by a individual named Corook, Corook. I got to see them in Seattle last year, and their music has just been accessing the world because they are all about loving yourself for who you are. And so check that song out. And if you like this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading resonated. And if you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. Every single day has just been an absolute blessing and journey. So I just really appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in future readings. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, if you were a fish and you were caught, what would people say about you? That is the song by Corook. And it was just kind of a song, I think, that was written to make you feel uplifted and kind of love yourself, because the world is a harsh place. And so I wanted to bring a special message to you, letting you know, like, what people think about you in all the positive ways, you know, the ways that you don't even know. So let's go ahead and get started and look. That's what I'm trying to say. At the owl. So this is I think it's a lapel pin, meaning like it just like you can poke it and put it into your shirt. It's the same on both sides. Boop. Yeah, it was my grandmother's, and don't think I have anything else to say other than that it's just super, super pretty and sharp. So we'll look at it closer at the end of the reading. So the first cards are to answer, what would people say about you? If you were a fish and look at you, say look. So I don't know if you know that people actually can see what you're going through right now, but both of these cards are saying like you're going through emotional stress. And so you're kind of taking a step back from an individual, possibly a family member. And over here, it's kind of the same thing of the fact that you're just kind of trying to avoid burnout. So what people would say about you is that you've kind of been working really hard for a really long time and giving yourself for many years at a certain project. And I feel like everyone knows you are just kind of taking a break right now. And no one is upset at you for it. No one's judging you for it. I feel like everyone can see that you have had a few rough years. And so you're just taking time away from the crap, and you are taking time away from a project that you put many years, a lot of energy into, and you haven't given up on it at all. I think you just are in a period of reserve right now. And so, you know, it's good that people know you are going through something, because you will have the support. But don't feel bad. Don't feel like, oh my God, everyone knows my life isn't being held together perfectly. And it's like, that's okay. Life isn't perfect all the time. So they know you're kind of stepping away because something's been just kind of overwhelming you. Your projects have been overwhelming you, and that's okay. They support that. But what the next card was, what they don't know about you just by looking. So it's very interesting to me that people are aware that you're kind of stepping back from things because of somebody. And people are aware that you're kind of taking a break from something because of some reason. But I don't think they understand what literal like crisis you went through before. Because before the Four of Swords is the Three of Swords, which is the heart with 3 swords stabbed through it. Like, you've gone through an extremely heartbreaking time. And so I feel like people are kind of just like, yeah, they're just taking a break, but I don't think they understand how heartbroken you are. You probably aren't letting them know that, but I don't think you need to. I'm very pro keeping information to yourself, because I believe that a lot of times people who don't want good for you aren't going to wish well for you. So, and if they know that what you're going through, it's kind of like they have power over you because they know what's going on. So I don't think people really know what you have gone through internally. Like I said, I feel like everyone's like, oh yeah, something happened. And so they kind of know you're stepping away right now, but I don't think they truly understand how painful it is. So the next cards are what other people see that you cannot. So what I really like about these is that, so it definitely makes sense that this is not something you actually even know that this is what other people can see about you, is that, sorry, I get so caught up sometimes because I want to say so many things at once. So what people see about you that you cannot is actually how lucky you are, and how you are actually investing in yourself. And so you're going to work out so much better financially in the end. Like, you're truly going to have a happy family situation in the future, because you have foresight, because you know when things aren't working, you backtrack. You're like, nope, I'm not going to just keep going down this dark road that I'm hearing screams coming from that way of, terror. You know when to stop and turn around. And I think everyone kind of knows that about you, because it's like this energy of like, it was definitely that energy that like, no one's worried about you. And so you may have that feeling of like, oh, nobody's checking on me. And it's like, truly, people see your capabilities, I think, even more than you do. And just go through the rest period you're in right now, because when you come out of this, you are just going to have a serious glow up. Like the 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, and Knight of Wands, or Page of Wands. Like, this is all about passion and energy and drive and vision and like wealth. Like, yeah, the thing you were going after, this passion you started, it may not have worked out in the last so many years. But I have a feeling it was connected to the energy you were putting into this person or this familial situation, personal situation. Because once you kind of go through the rest and recovery and remove what was not working, you are still going to have all of your loved ones supporting you. And they, especially if you're honest and say like, hey guys, I've just been in recovery. You are going to go very, very far. You're going to obtain everything you've wanted. And the dreams you're setting out for, the dreams that you are literally having right now, I see they're being conjured up. You may be writing them down or trying to create them or like manifest them. Keep doing that. Keep writing it down. Keep creating those contracts with the universe of like, hey, this is what I want. Look, I'm writing it out. And then if you take action, not by stressing yourself out, but just by like, ooh, I'm waking up today. That's how I know my dreams are coming true. Like, you are going to learn how to truly, truly harness your powers. And I think you're going to find that it comes from meditation and peace and quiet. It's kind of that idea of like, we're moving out of the 3D energy. The 3D energy of everything is like time and space. Like, you have to do this and go through this amount of time and wait for everything to come together. And in 5D, that's when you close your eyes and you imagine something. What you're imagining exists in the 5th dimension. That's why when you dream, it can feel like forever because there's no time there. So what you are creating is being created in that new dimension. So when you wake up from this rest, I think you are going to have a power that is very surprising to you. So, okay, pile 2. Next was, well, and lastly, and next is, what is your hidden talent? All right, so let me get some thoughts out before more fireworks start. Okay, so what's kind of cool here is that the way I'm reading these 3 together is like, because the Emperor reversed is kind of like very dominating, like kind of like in a way you wouldn't normally like. But with the Temperance here, I'm getting this is much more balanced out. It is still, pardon, it is still a very dominant energy. So what's cool is I'm reading this as like, you have such a control over your destiny. You are somebody who has completely figured that out, that thoughts become things and manifesting and writing down. Like, you completely understand that. I feel like you understand the whole 3D, 5D thing. Because again, the Emperor reversed is usually kind of like a harsh energy, but with the Temperance here, it's kind of balancing it out, moderation. So it's like it's like like hit the nos. Like, you have that ability in your car to hit the nos and like go really fast when you need to. You don't use that all the time. That is not so, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, nitrous oxide is something that people can hook up to their cars, and it's like a gas that when driving, if you I guess inject a little bit of nitrous oxide into the fuel, it bursts a boost of energy, so you can go really, really, really fast. So that's what I'm getting. It's like, if this was on its own, it would be like, okay, so you have quite a dominant energy. But like, these here it's such a cool balance. Like, if it was upright, it would kind of be more of just like, oh, okay, you have total control over your life and everyone around you and how to balance those things in communication. But what I'm seeing this is you have a hidden talent to, when you want to go, you can hit the nos and like fly past people. And all of a sudden, like, everyone was kind of sleeping on you, and it was like you weren't doing anything. You were on a break. You were resting. All of a sudden, boom, like right out the gate. So I think people can see that. That's kind of what I'm seeing these 3 cards as, is very much this like hope and success for your future. This is something you really have a grasp on. Like the way the gargoyle is sitting above everything, like you can see it all. You know where you're going off in the distance. You have all the stars above you to bring you that beautiful energy. And like the vines that are wrapping around here to me are like, you, like it's your mind. Like it, okay, that's what it's reminding me of like the way brains stem cells. There's a video I saw of literally 2 brain stems trying to reach each other. It's like natural in us for our brain to want to connect different parts of it to each other. So I think your brain wants you to start connecting, like it's like, you know, doing math while you're baking, realizing like cooking and math actually are really connected. And so I feel like that's gonna click to you and you're gonna understand what I'm saying. But your hidden talent is that you see where things you have the ability for can benefit you and strengthen you and get you further in ways other people didn't. And so you are trying out things other people can't. And it's creating a very intelligent and witty person. You're very witty. But like you have quick wit. You think very fast. And so, okay. Pile 2. Have I covered it all? Just remember, people know you're kind of on a break right now because they just don't know how much you're hurt. And if you don't want to share, that's totally okay. Just know that they do know you're on a break and that life has been a little hard for you. But honestly, everyone sees you as a success and that you're going far and you have this hidden talent that I think all it's going to take for you is to hear this reading and reflect back and be like, you know, I guess every time I did want to succeed in something and I put in a button's push worth of effort, you shot forward. You have a skill that not everybody has. So, let's see. This, I just keep getting, this one really, really reminds me of like, Owl from Winnie the Pooh, or just kind of like, or more specifically, did you, when I was a kid, I used to listen to or watch the videos of like sing-along songs. And at the beginning, there was all these owls fly into the house and they like get prepared to sing. And so, I think there may just be kind of a truth that your inner child can speak to you for. I feel like you have an inner wisdom and an inner knowing that you've kind of always known since you were a kid of who you are and what you're going to do and how you're going to succeed. Like you know. This one to me is like you are in control of your life and kind of the conductor of the orchestra of your life. Nothing is happening. I don't feel like anything's really a surprise anymore to you. And because nothing's a surprise, you're able to kind of conduct where you want to go and how you want things to go. Yeah. This to me is just like a threaded knowledge. Yeah, like see the leaves on here definitely make me think of the vines on here. You, your brain, your mind, you have a very, very sharp mind. And I feel like that's because you have stayed connected to your inner child. Because your inner child just has that natural wisdom. And so that's what I'm getting. Pile 2. So, pile 2, thank you so much. If you like this video, I would love for you to give a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading resonated and that I'm doing my job right. If you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. It has been an absolute honor, and every single day I get to do a reading. It just makes me feel so, so good. Oh, if you haven't, check out Corook, Corook. They make music about just how it is to be a human and feeling in life. And maybe you're feeling a little bit like they have this song. It goes, hey, hey, it's okay. Everybody feels kind of weird some days. So maybe you're just kind of going through that. You're just kind of going through that lull. And so check them out. I think you'll like their music. Anything else? Nope. Just thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in future readings. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pal 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, if you haven't heard the song If I Were a Fish by Corook, then you should check it out because honestly, it's adorable. But it's all about just kind of how the world is harsh, the world is rough, and I think it's always important to find ways to lift ourselves up. So I wanted to kind of bring you that uplifting message of like what people would say about you in a positive way, like that you actually don't really even know about. So let's go ahead and get started. So you chose the like gold white-bellied owl. I would love to see what owl actually looks like this. I love owls. I have an owl tattooed on my wrist. So this is amazing. We'll go ahead and look at its meanings at the end of the reading. So the first cards are, what would people say about you if you were a fish and they caught you? They'd say, look at the fish. So people, honestly, they see you as that like person that like everything you touch turns to gold. So they see you as a super successful like person who just goes after anything you kind of want. And I love these two cats, like gorgeous. I didn't even realize that. But not only are you like a driven, hardworking person, you are this like mysterious, like all-knowing person. So people don't even see it as like, oh, you just slave away and that's why you get it. You get everything in life. It's like they see you as a hard worker and an intuitive, intelligent worker. Like people know, like, I feel like people want to know your secrets. Like, what do you do differently? And I feel like you just honest, and I kind of see you giving people that answer of like, guys, I just listen to what my gut tells me, meaning you listen to what your gut tells you. But so many people are out there just looking to, you know, online or tarot readings of like, what do I do? What do I do? Like tarot's just supposed to help you, guide you. Tarot's not telling you anything you don't already know. Like I flip this over and you're not like, what? I'm a hard-driven and mysterious person. Like I feel like you know that about yourself. But people know that about you too. Ooh, I love them, but they're both like striped. This is gorgeous. Oh, they kind of look like my two cats. Snacks and socks. So yeah, you have this like hard-working aspect to you, and then you have this like mysterious side to you. So it's cool. I like that. I think having a cat personality is fabulous because oh, I'm just not somebody who thinks you need to say yes to everybody for everything. And so that's what's kind of cool is people see you as a cat energy of like, they know not to fuck with you. They know to respect you. And just like how there are some people who don't like cats, there are some people who don't get you. There are just some people who are like, yeah, I don't get them. And that's not for them to understand, because that just means they're not on your level of hard work or intuition. And I think you're completely okay with that. So the next card is what they don't know about you just from looking at you. Oh my God. That's so funny because it's how they see you, but what they don't actually know about you. So what I'm really just understanding is I don't think they understand how disciplined you are. Like this one is very much like, ooh, everything you touch turns to gold. This one, same card, but different energies. This one is much more like, I have worked for everything I've gotten. I have educated myself. I have practiced. I have spent years. And you are somebody who, I see all these flowers below. And I feel like it's all the different aspects to you that they don't know about you. Like the sunflower to me is like your faith in God. And like the rose here is like your ability to love life. And the daisies here to me are your like connection to your inner child. And the, oh gosh, are these lilies? I think they are, because what's coming to me is, there's yellow and orange lilies. I'm going to double check to make sure they are, but what these are telling me is you also have a respect for, that life, that we are not immortal. We only have so many days counted on this earth. So, wow, I've never seen those before. That's so cool. So there is a whole layer to you that people don't understand. I feel like they just look at you and go, oh, everything they do is successful. And it's like, you are successful because of these aspects. That's amazing. You have a total connection and faith in spirit and God and what's guiding you. Whatever you call that higher power, you have it. You have the ability to love and be kind and intimate in a way that a lot of people don't let themselves be vulnerable. And that's probably because you are very connected to your inner child. I feel like all the dreams you've gone after are from your inner child. Like everything you wanted when you were a kid, you're like, I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for my inner child, for that younger version of me who just wanted to get out of childhood because you may have gone through hell. So, and I feel like you truly understand. You've probably lost people in your life. You've had people who've died. And so you understand that every day is valuable. And that's something people don't understand about you, is that you actually have such a depth. They just kind of think, you're mysterious and you just... So, to me, these feel very, exactly like the people who don't understand cats. That's exactly what's going on here. Like, do you not like cats, or do you not like that you can't control them? You are somebody who cannot be controlled. So, the next cards are what other people see that you cannot. Ooh. So, what I'm getting from these 4 cards here, I think people actually kind of see you. This is very interesting, because from from these first 3, it's like you are a very hardworking, secure, together person. But what people actually see about you that I don't think you actually even can see yourself is that they know that you're hard, like you've gone through some sort of really, really heartbreaking thing. Some sort of rejection, whether this is like rooted in your childhood, like your biological parents left, like something just like so deep rooted. So it's something that nobody can fix. This is something that happened to you very young. And so people still see that in your eyes. They see that in your generosity. They see that in your hard work, that it all is driven from a place of hurt, deep, deep hurt. And it has created this person who is very engaged in success and work and achieving this King of Pentacles. They see you as a very like clear thinking. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. It's because it's not clear thinking because there's so much emotion here. But you have intellectual knowledge because of everything you've gone through. You have a very, like, again, I don't feel like clear thinking is the right word, but you have an intellectual power to you from all you've experienced. And so with the Ace of Cups here, it's like people do know that you've gone through something really, really hard. People know that, and they see that you live your life with the drive of kind of trying to get away from what's hurt you in the past. You have a lot of overwhelming emotion, and so that's interesting. I don't think you know that you have this intellectual power. I think you just have kind of been at this like brute strength of like go, 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 go. And you've been doing that from following your intuition, yes. But I don't think you know that how much your intuition has led you to intelligent decisions. So I feel like you have made a lot of right choices. You've done a lot of right things. But you live every day of your life with a deep pain and sorrow that nobody can take away. And maybe you've just been trying to work hard to kind of like work away the pain. And only time can heal. That's what I'm hearing. So the last cards are, what are your hidden talents? So this beautiful little combo you have here is, what I'm seeing this as is when things in life are out of control, or when you're having a resistance to change because of X, Y, and Z, I really feel like your talent and skill is drawing in that power, that intellectual power you have of knowing how to create a better future, how to change your direction or start things up again. I feel like when you are going through tough times, when things are really feeling overwhelming and like you don't have a control on life because of your overwhelming emotions, that you might not give a lot of credit to. You might not even notice when it happens, but everyone around you does. That when things start getting a little out of control, and you are kind of becoming maybe more stubborn and not wanting to change up how you're doing things, I really feel like you have been able to, you have a talent to, no matter what you're going through, no matter where you're at in life, you've turned it around. Like it says, everything you touch turns to gold. People, it's like you're watching watching a movie and people are like, certain the protagonist is like, about to die, and there's that silence, and all of a sudden they like pop up. Like, that's you. People just are holding their breath every time something happens, but you have this ability to be like, yeah, just kidding. You thought I was over. It's not over. And you are so well-rounded. You're so likable. You are so experienced. Like I said, you have all these aspects to you that make you who you are, that give you your talents. And I don't think you know that enough. Remember that when you're kind of feeling down and overwhelmed with emotions and feeling a little out of control, you've always brought it around. You've always pulled yourself back together. You are so strong. Like, you are, I don't even know, what is the biggest fish in the ocean kind of thing. Like, that's you. You have this amazing strength. You are not a tiny little guppy. You are not something small. You are something that has risen back up from the dead a million times, and people are shocked every single time. They're shocked every time. But it's because they don't have any clue of how much discipline you have. I think that really, I kind of feel like when people ask you, like, how do you do it? And you sit down and you actually try to explain it to them, they're like, whoa, that was way too many steps. It's like Joey, when Ross is kind of trying to help him, get his life together. And, I think it's actually Ross is staying with them. It's around the whole same time, but Ross is he's like, I went to the bank. I went, dropped off my dry cleaning. I'm so bored. And Joey's like, whoa. One thing at a time. And I feel like that's a lot of people in life, of just one thing at a time. But you've finally kind of gotten to this place where you can accomplish 5 things in a day that one of those things used to take you a week. You have become very, very disciplined. And I don't think people see that. I don't think people understand that. If your car ever goes out of control, you have fixed that every time. Anytime life seems a little confusing and you just don't know where to go and you don't want to go anywhere, you have been able to pop back up and become revitalized. So you are a fabulously talented person that anything you touch turns to gold. And that's kind of what I'm seeing this this pin as. So my grandparents were very successful, in my opinion. It reminds me of my grandfather, who anything he touched turned to gold. He when he was younger, he had a grocery store that was successful, and then when he was a little bit older, he moved out to Hollywood and got a job at CBS Studios doing makeup. Met my grandmother there. They both did makeup at CBS Studios, and they just had an amazing, beautiful, successful life. So that's what I'm seeing this as, is that people may not know how you've gotten this gigantic coin and this crown and sitting on the throne. Truthfully, that's not for them to understand. You are magic. You follow your intuition, and I just know that people see you for the talented person you are, and also they do know the emotional pain you've gone through, and It's why you're so strong. So, pile 3, I hope you were able to get something from this reading. It was, to me, pretty clear from beginning to end, even with the gold owl. So, pile 3, I just really, really appreciate it. If you like this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading resonated. And if you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. It's just been an absolute honor. Every single day I get to do a reading. If you don't know Corook, I think I said at the beginning, check their music out. It's super uplifting and I think helpful for everybody. So thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in future readings. Have a great day.